Docker is a powerful tool for containerization, but it also comes with security considerations that need to be taken into account. Here are some tips for keeping your Docker containers secure. Use the latest version of Docker. Always use the latest version of Docker, as it includes security patches and bug fixes. Limit container privileges. Avoid running containers as root and only give containers the privileges they need to run the application. Use the principle of least privilege. Use Docker Content Trust. Use Docker Content Trust to ensure that only trusted images are used in your environment. Use security scanners. Use security scanners to scan Docker images for vulnerabilities and malware. Some popular options include Anchor, Claire, and Docker security scanning. Monitor container activity. Monitor container activity to detect unauthorized access or unusual activity. Use tools like Docker Security Scanning or Falco to monitor container activity. Use network security. Use network security controls to limit network access between containers and other systems. Use firewalls and network segmentation to isolate containers. Use encryption. Use encryption to protect sensitive data in transit and at rest. Use SSL/TLS to encrypt traffic between containers, and use encrypted volumes to protect data at rest. Secure the Docker host. Secure the Docker host by configuring it properly and using best practices for server hardening. Use a tool like Docker Bench Security to check for security vulnerabilities. Use Docker secrets. Use Docker secrets to securely store sensitive data, such as passwords and API keys, and avoid hard-coding them in the container image. Regularly update containers and images. Regularly update containers and images to ensure that they are using the latest security patches and bug fixes. Use access control. Use access control mechanisms to restrict access to Docker resources. Use tools like role-based access control, RBAC, to control access to Docker resources. Secure the Docker registry. If you are using a Docker registry, ensure that it is secure. Use SSL/TLS to encrypt traffic to and from the registry, and use authentication mechanisms to control access to the registry. Use Docker secrets. Use Docker secrets to securely store sensitive data, such as passwords and API keys, and avoid hard-coding them in the container image. Use multi-factor authentication. Use multi-factor authentication, MFA, for Docker hosts and registries to add an extra layer of security. Use third-party plugins. Use third-party plugins to enhance the security of your Docker environment. For example, the Sysdig Falco plugin can be used to monitor container activity and detect security threats. Use Docker logs. Use Docker logs to monitor container activity and detect security issues. Use tools like the ELK Stack, Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana to collect and analyze Docker logs. Keep software up to date. Keep all software used in your Docker environment up to date, including the Docker engine, operating system, and applications running in the containers. Limit container resources. Limit the resources available to containers to prevent them from consuming too many resources and causing resource exhaustion attacks. By following these security best practices, you can help keep your Docker containers secure and protect your environment from potential security threats.